Oh, wow. Hey y'all, we just had Arab fighters launch a surprise strike on Israel.
Times of India videos, your daily
Hey,
dose of India and the world. Global news, different views, and sharp analysis.
second battle coming. Arab capital, big
Don't
declaration
wear these
against
perfumes if you don't
Israel.
like compliments. Everyone has been talking about all of these perfumes, but honestly, they're just...
I wonder what. Oh my goodness. Hey y'all, come on in before I can get one out the way.
Please release the hostages, bring them home, and stop the war. We are very caring about our dear that over there. My Umri is over there 681 days. I miss him.
We decide to
Surprise
start the life
attack.
here in Israel for today, and look what's happened. Look what's going on here.
This just popped off. because Israel has been announced a new plan for Gaza. Right after Putin comes to the U.S. and there's no peace. No peace. I mean, you know. Apart from Israel, protesters in Jerusalem blocked highway. Is this the protest what happened yesterday in Alaska? Huh? We don't win.
היום עוצרים הכל כדי לזכור את הערך העליון של קדושת החיים. היום עוצרים הכל כדי שנוכל לחיות ביחד עוד מאות שנים. היום עוצרים הכל כדי לשלב ידיים, ימין, שמאל, מרכז וכל מה שביניהם. למען החיילים, למען החטופים. מדינת ישראל עוצרת היום כדי שכל חייל ידע שמדינה שלנו עומדת מאחוריו בשעת צרה.
Last week, we decided to call to everyone in Israel, to all the citizens, to stop that whole day and stop all the country in one saying. Please release the hostages, bring them home, and stop the war.
No peace
Caring about our dear that over there. My Umri is over there 681 days.
What happened in that car, that private car with Putin and Trump?
Really missed him, and I really scared and afraid about his life. I want him here, and I want all the hostages here.
We decide to stop the life here in Israel for today, and look what's happened. Look what's going on here in the roads here in Tel Aviv, almost empty, and it's good. We hope that in the next coming hours, it's going to be much better from the people that stopped the life today, didn't go to work and be with us.
Oh boy, won't be getting no peace, Nobel Peace Prize. "50 hostages are believed to remain in Gaza. Only about 20 are thought to be alive." Oh my goodness. This ain't what I signed up for today, but this just popped off. Israel in flames. Clashes. Arson. Highway choked. Attack. Oh, right before he's supposed to come to meet with Trump.
I'm here to say to the international media and to the international decision makers, our sons and daughters are there in the dungeons of Gaza for 681 days. We want them back home as soon as possible. The world should want them back home as soon as possible. Stop being a bunch of hypocrites. Press, because when you know how to press, you press. Press and tell Hamas, no deal, no nothing until you release them. And I want to say to our brothers and sisters all over the world, we are together in this plight. We want the hostages back home. They are the most important issue on world affairs, and we want to see them back home as soon as possible.
Lord. Now,
אלה שקוראים היום לסיום המלחמה ללא הכרעת החמאס, לא רק שמקשיחים את עמדת החמאס ומרחיקים את שחרור חטופינו, הם גם מבטיחים שזוועות ה7 באוקטובר יחזרו על עצמם שוב ושוב, ושבנינו ובנותינו יצטרכו להילחם שוב ושוב במלחמת אין קץ. לכן גם כדי לקדם את שחרור חטופינו וגם כדי להבטיח שעזה לא תהווה יותר איום על ישראל, עלינו להשלים את המלאכה ולהכריע את החמאס. זוהי בדיוק החלטת הקבינט שהתקבלה בשבוע שעבר. אנחנו נחושים לממשה.
Okay, so let me get to what the live is about. This just popped out. Oh my goodness, if it ain't one thing, it's another. Please come in, hitting the like button. If it ain't one thing, it's another. Afternoon, 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 afternoon. Mass shooting in New York. I think it was a club. Let me see here. Start here. Please come in, hitting the like button if you don't mind.
And subject to change. I'm going to brief you on a shooting incident that
Oh no, that's not the first one.
Ready, Delaney? All right. Good morning. The information.
Hold on.
People shot, 3 dead. It's a terrible shooting that 11 people shot, 3 dead. It's a terrible shooting that occurred in the city of New York. At 11 people shot, 3 dead. It's a terrible shooting that occurred in the city of New York. What we know preliminarily is that there was a dispute inside of the crowded club
Hi, Patrick.
that led to the shooting. We have multiple shooters involved in this shooting, and we have recovered at least 36 shell casings so far from what appears to be multiple guns. At this time, no one is in custody. Our detectives are canvassing available CCTV video in and around the location.
What's the magnitude of this type of shooting?
11 people shot, 3 dead. It's a terrible shooting that occurred in the city of New York.
Metal detector, anything where they would have checked the weapon?
We have the lowest number of shooting incidents and shooting victims 7 months into the year that we've seen on record in the city of New York. Something like this is, of course, thank God, an anomaly, and it's a terrible thing that happened this morning, but we're going to investigate and get to the bottom of what went down. The investigation into this incident is ongoing. What we know preliminarily is that 911 calls about a shooting inside of 903 Franklin Avenue, which is a lounge known as Taste of the City. Officers arrived within minutes of the first 911 calls and found numerous gunshot victims inside of the location. Currently, we have identified 11 victims ranging in age from 27 to 61, 8 males and 3 females. 3 of the victims have already been pronounced: 1 male age 27, 1 male age 35, and 1 male of an unknown age. The 8 remaining victims are at local area hospitals with what is being described right now as non-life-threatening injuries. We are withholding victims' names pending family notifications, and the investigation into this incident is ongoing. What we know preliminarily is that there was a dispute inside of the crowded club that led to the shooting. We have multiple shooters involved in this shooting, and we have recovered at least 36 shell casings so far from what appears to be multiple guns. At this time, no one is in custody. Our detectives are canvassing available CCTV video in and around the location. Our detectives have also recovered a firearm in the vicinity of Bedford Avenue and Eastern Parkway. We are investigating at this time whether this firearm was tied to the shooting incident. I'll now take a few brief questions.
Any questions? Yes. What's the magnitude of this type of shooting?
Well, we have, 11 people shot? 11 people shot, 3 dead. It's a terrible shooting that occurred in the city of New York. There's no other way to...
And it's been a pretty quiet, lower numbers of shootings.
Yeah, I mean, we have the lowest number of shooting incidents and shooting victims 7 months into the year that we've seen on record in the city of New York. Something like this is, of course, thank God, an anomaly, and it's a terrible thing that happened this morning, but we're going to investigate and get to the bottom of what went down.
Next.
Is there any history of a prior shooting taking place inside this location or lounge?
Yeah, we need to confirm this, but I did hear that there was a shooting at this location, non-fatal, in, I believe, November of 2024. The information I'm about to provide is preliminary and subject to change. I'm going to brief you on a shooting incident that occurred earlier this morning in the Crown Heights neighborhood of Brooklyn. The details are as follows. At approximately 3:27 a.m., the 911 call center started receiving multiple 911 calls about a shooting inside of 903 Franklin Avenue, which is a lounge known as Taste of the City. Officers arrived within minutes of the first 911 calls and found numerous gunshot victims inside of the location. Currently, we have identified 11 victims ranging in age from 27 to 61, 8 males and 3 females. 3 of the victims have already been pronounced: One male, age 27, one male, age 35, and one male of an unknown age. The 8 remaining victims are at local area hospitals with what is being described right now as non-life-threatening injuries. We are withholding victims' names pending family notifications, and the investigation into this incident is ongoing. What we know preliminarily is that there was a dispute inside of the crowded club that led to the shooting. We have multiple shooters involved in this shooting, and we have recovered at least 36 shell casings so far from what appears to be multiple guns. At this time, no one is in custody. Our detectives are canvassing available CCTV video in and around the location. Our detectives have also recovered a firearm in the vicinity of Bedford Avenue and Eastern Parkway. We are investigating at this time whether this firearm was tied to the shooting incident. I'll now take a few brief questions.
Any questions? Yes, what's the magnitude? What's the magnitude of this type of shooting? On the scale right now?
Well, we have, 11 people shot? 11 people shot, 3 dead. It's a terrible shooting that occurred in the city of New York. There's no other way to...
And it's been a pretty quiet, lower numbers of shootings.
Yeah, I mean, we have the lowest number of shooting incidents and shooting victims 7 months into the year that we've seen on record in the city of New York. Something like this is, of course, thank God, an anomaly, and it's a terrible thing that happened this morning, but we're going to investigate it and get to the bottom of what went down.
Next, CBS. Is there any history of a prior shootings taking place inside the location around?
Yeah, we need to confirm this, but I did hear that there was a shooting at this location, non-fatal, in, I believe, November of 2024. The information I'm about to provide is preliminary and subject to change. I'm going to brief you on a shooting incident that occurred earlier this morning in the Crown Heights neighborhood of Brooklyn. The details are as follows. At approximately 3:27 a.m., the 911 call center started receiving multiple 911 calls about a shooting inside of 903 Franklin Avenue, which is a lounge known as Taste of the City. Officers arrived within minutes of the first 911 calls and found numerous gunshot victims inside of the location. Currently, we have identified 11 victims ranging in age from 27 to 61, 8 males and 3 females. 3 of the victims have already been pronounced: 1 male age 27, 1 male age 35, and 1 male of an unknown age. The 8 remaining victims are at local area hospitals with what is being described right now as non-life-threatening injuries. We are withholding victims' names pending family notifications, and the investigation into this incident is ongoing. What we know preliminarily is that there was a dispute inside of the crowded club that led to the shooting. We have multiple shooters involved in this shooting, and we have recovered at least 36 shell casings so far from what appears to be multiple guns. At this time, no one is in custody. Our detectives are canvassing available CCTV video in and around the location. Our detectives have also recovered a firearm in the vicinity of Bedford Avenue and Eastern Parkway. We are investigating at this time whether this firearm was tied to the shooting incident. I'll now take a few brief questions.
Any questions? Yes, what's the magnitude? What's the magnitude of this type of shooting? On the scale right now?
Well, we have, 11 people shot? 11 people shot, 3 dead. It's a terrible shooting that occurred in the city of New York. There's no other way to...
And it's been a pretty quiet, lower numbers of shootings.
Yeah, I mean, we have the lowest number of shooting incidents and shooting victims 7 months into the year that we've seen on record in the city of New York. Something like this is, of course, thank God, an anomaly, and it's a terrible thing that happened this morning, but we're going to investigate it and get to the bottom of what went down.
Next, CBS. Is there any history of a prior shootings taking place inside this location or lounge?
Yeah, We need to confirm this, but I did hear that there was a shooting at this location, non-fatal, in, I believe, November of 2024. The information I'm about to provide is preliminary and subject to change. I'm going to brief you on a shooting incident that occurred earlier this morning in the Crown Heights neighborhood of Brooklyn. The details are as follows. At approximately 3:27 a.m., the 911 call center started receiving multiple 911 calls about a shooting inside of 903 Franklin Avenue, which is a lounge known as Taste of the City. Officers arrived within minutes of the first 911 calls and found numerous gunshot victims inside of the location. Currently, we have identified 11 victims ranging in age from 27 to 61, 8 males and 3 females. 3 of the victims have already been pronounced, 1 male age 27, 1 male age 35, and 1 male of an unknown age. The 8 remaining victims are at local area hospitals with what is being described right now as non-life-threatening injuries. We are withholding victims' names pending family notifications, and the investigation into this incident is ongoing. What we know preliminarily is that there was a dispute inside of the crowded club that led to the shooting. We have multiple shooters involved in this shooting, and we have recovered at least 36 shell casings so far from what appears to be multiple guns. At this time, no one is in custody. Our detectives are canvassing available CCTV video in and around the location. Our detectives have also recovered a firearm in the vicinity of Bedford Avenue and Eastern Parkway. We are investigating at this time whether this firearm was tied to the shooting incident. I'll now take a few brief questions.
Any questions? Yes, what's the magnitude? Shante, what's the magnitude of this type of shooting on scale right now?
Well, we have, 11 people shot? 11 people shot, 3 dead. It's a terrible shooting that occurred in the city of New York. It's no other way to...
And it's been a pretty quiet, lower numbers of shootings.
Yeah, I mean, we have the lowest number of shooting incidents and shooting victims 7 months into the year that we've seen on record in the city of New York. Something like this is, of course, at approximately 3:27 a.m., the 911 call center started receiving multiple 911 calls about a shooting inside of 903 Franklin Avenue, which is a lounge known as Taste of the City. Officers arrived within minutes of the first 911 calls and found numerous gunshot victims inside.
Breaking news, a police search for several gunmen this morning who they say shot up a lounge in Brooklyn.
11 people in total were shot and 3 of those were killed. The victims ranging in age from 27 to 61 years old. Eyewitness News reporter Shante Lanz is live at a very busy police scene in Crown Heights this morning. Shante.
And Tony and Joe, good morning. Very busy is a great way to explain it. In fact, A second crime scene unit van just arrived here. You can also see, I want to reference how close this is to the actual shooting. That's a police precinct. It's transit police, but that's how brazen this crime was. Bullets sprayed inside that lounge. You can see multiple detectives. Will Cespedes is going to pan over from this other crime scene van here. You can see an investigator going in that truck. But further along, you can see detectives standing outside in the middle of the street here. This is Franklin Avenue in the Crown Heights section of Brooklyn. But this is where that shooting happened. This is Taste of the City Lounge. And you mentioned the age range, Joe and Tony. 11 people in total shot, 3 of them, all males, killed, ages 27, 35, and according to Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch, the third person's age, also a male, is not known. This happened just after 3 in the morning. 36 shell casings at least were gathered from multiple guns. That's according to police. So far, no arrests, but they're canvassing this area for videos of any information on those suspects. They also found, we want to mention, a gun at Bedford Avenue and Eastern Parkway, not too far from here, but they're not sure if that's connected. Again, that's according to the police commissioner. But what we know, according to a witness that I spoke with who was inside at the time, that shooting happened in the middle of Taste of the City Lounge. Multiple people were shot at that time. She was in the front. She got out. She's okay, thankfully. But we also spoke with witnesses, and I also, of course, the police commissioner about this brazen crime.
Officers arrived within minutes of the first 911 calls and found numerous gunshot victims inside of the location. Currently, we have identified 11 victims ranging in age from 27 to 61, 8 males and 3 females.
And back out live here outside of Taste of the City Lounge, that Commissioner Tisch also mentioned that there was a shooting here November of 2024 that they have on record, someone getting shot. They didn't die, but this, of course, is the worst. This is a mass shooting. She also said shootings up until this point wasn't as bad, but obviously now, after today, they have their hands tied and they'll be on this scene all day. Reporting live in Crown Heights, Brooklyn, Shantae.
If you got people in Brooklyn, check on them. Can please hit the like button coming in. Please. See what they say.
Janet, when's the last time?
Oh, wow.
RPGs that he would do? Okay. Yo. Alright. Yeah. Alright. That's all. Another 2 years, y'all gonna be swap. Alright, 1 second. Let's come back.
Hey, Joe Bass and Samantha. I spoke to Patrick.
Quick question. Where's the where is he in the back of it or where am I?
Mass shooting last night.
Alright, man, did you hear any of the shots?
I heard the shots from the apartment over there, yeah.
And what was your reaction?
I was like, what the hell's going on? We seen all the police cars, we saw all the lights from over the balcony, and we rushed outside to see what was going on, yeah.
Did you see any of the victims?
No, but we heard the car speeding away.
There's a car.
Sorry, I'm thinking the suspect. Yeah, the victims, we saw them. They were getting their, shirts cut. One of them got put in the gurney over here, and the other one got put in the gurney that way. Yeah.
And what did you guys do upon hearing the shots? Did you run for cover or anything like that?
I mean, we were at distance, so the police they arrived, fairly on time. We were skated over there, so we were fine, but we weren't directly over here when it exactly happened. I was just it's messy. It's messy.
We heard that we're up to 4 victims, one of them in critical condition. How do you feel about that?
It's sickening. It's hard to hear.
Are you live?
It's sad.
How's the crime in the neighborhood, would you say?
I mean, up and down, I'd say. I mean, we've never had anything really bad like this happen on this block, so.
Do you worry about your safety usually?
I mean, I haven't, but I think I do now.
Will you be coming back here for the nightlife or whatever else?
Probably not, no.
Did you want to give your name?
No, I prefer.
Questions? Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it.
Have a sergeant help you out. And then come back along it to make sure no
Are you researching dental implants?
There's a lot of dental offices that'll talk about doing their teeth in the day prop.
want this crime to just take way too long to set up what I want, all right? Set up right now, here, over here, let's go. It's been seen, I'm standing over here.
Would it be in a bag or no? No.
I'll go over.
Thanks.
So, I'm still going to go through. Yeah, I'm still keeping there until, but everybody else that's in 7-3 has exception. Yeah, do a little, yeah.
11 shot. 3 have been unalive. Sad.
From the house, 1361 Brooklyn Avenue.
Can I get y'all to double tap your phone screen or hit the 3 buttons at the top? What does this one say? Thank you, Max to the boogie. Max to the boogie. I'm glad you don't live in this part of New York. I'm glad he's okay. I greatly appreciate you, Max. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Praying for New York, Brooklyn, the Bronx, the taste of something.
There's also a cooler bay. And if you want to see the bar, you can look at it too.
How far away?
I hope it wasn't a terrorist threat or shooting. I'm trying not to say that. I hope this is not the case.
Anything you can see, I've been living there for 19 how long? I graduated in this house from
You always here.
Hey, Peach.
out here for a few hours, you know, and you know, shots just rang out. You know, I'm from this area, so it don't usually be like that. So you know, it's real shocking. You know, I hope you know, all the survivors will be okay, but you know, it's unfortunate.
What can I say after hearing 7 people?
7 people, yeah. That it really scares me because you know I'm from this area, you know, so you know, it frightens me to even come outside at this point. You know, 7 people, that's a lot. You know, I can't believe it. I can't believe that it really just transpired. You know, late at night, you know, I'll be out here late at night. I wouldn't really be expecting this from this neighborhood. 7 people, that really shocking to me.
Hey, you want to provide your name?
My name is Gregory Carter.
Spell it, please.
GREGORYCARTER.
I heard the shots from the apartment over there, yeah.
And what was your reaction?
I was like, what the hell's going on? We seen all the police cars, saw all the lights from over in the balcony, and we rushed outside to see what was going on, yeah.
Did you see any of the victims?
No, but we heard the cars being alive.
There's a car
sorry, I'm thinking of the suspect. Yeah, the victims, we saw them. They were getting their, you know, shirts cut. One of them got put in the gurney over here, and the other one got put in the gurney that way. Yeah.
And what did you guys do upon hearing the shots? Did you run for cover or anything like that?
I mean, we were at a distance, so the police, they arrived, you know, fairly in time. We were skated over there, so we were fine, but we weren't directly over here when it
How would you describe the scene?
How would you describe it? It's messy. It's messy.
We heard there were up to 4 victims, one of them in critical condition. How do you feel about that?
It's sickening. It's hard to hear. Sad.
How's the crime in the neighborhood?
I mean, you know, up and down, I'd say. I mean, we've never had anything really bad like this happen in this block, so.
You're worried about your safety usually?
I mean, I haven't, but I think I do now.
Will you be coming back here for the nightlife or whatever else?
Probably.
Did you want to give your name?
Yeah, I'm having system issues. Bear with me. Hold on. 3 people. Times Square. Moving to Trump. Now it's not our war, y'all.
Now, President Trump did respond, and he says
now
that
he's
Fox
saying
News
it's not our
just
war.
can't be trusted. Now, Newsmax, we're conducting
we tried
our
to
own
tell
poll
him
on
that
President
before.
More destruction and death in Ukraine right there. That was in Sumy. Vladimir Putin continues attacking Ukraine with ballistic missiles and Shahed drones, killing innocent Ukrainians. New photos are emerging of Donald Trump, Steve Witkoff, and Marco Rubio speaking to President Zelensky of Ukraine. Just zoom in on their faces. You can see just how much they truly despise Zelensky and people who are courageous and fight for freedom. Just contrast this Ukraine
has
right there.
No interest
that was in Sumy. Vladimir Putin continues attacking Ukraine with ballistic missiles and Shahed drones, killing innocent Ukrainians. New photos are emerging of Donald Trump, Steve Witkoff, and Marco Rubio speaking to President Zelensky of Ukraine. Just zoom in on their faces. You can see just how much they truly despise Zelensky and people who are courageous and fight for freedom. Just contrast this photo right here. I mean, zoom in on Trump. Zoom in on Witkoff. Witkoff looks like one of Tony Soprano's goons. I mean, after all, that's really what he is right now as he's speaking to Zelensky in this photo. I mean, contrast that to the red carpet, velvet glove welcome that Donald Trump and his regime gave to Vladimir Putin in Alaska in one of the most humiliating days in American history. Donald Trump is still out in Florida, vacationing on the taxpayer dime today. You see him there golfing and throwing out MAGA hats to people, and of course rage posting on social media. Donald Trump posting and whining all morning, saying this: if I got Russia to give up Moscow as part of the deal, the fake news and their partner, the radical left Democrats, would say I made a terrible mistake and a very bad deal. That's why they are fake news. Also, they should talk about the 6 wars, etc. I just stopped, and he puts that in all caps, MAGA. Okay, you didn't just stop 6 wars. You are making that up. You said you would end the war in Ukraine in 24 hours. In fact, you said you would do it as soon as you won the election, within 24 hours of that. You lied. You now say you're being sarcastic and it's all one big joke. This is not a laughing matter. This is a very serious matter. When you went into Alaska, you said the only thing that you would accept is a ceasefire, and that there would be serious ramifications against Russia in the form of sanctions or other things if there was no ceasefire. That was the purported purpose of this meeting, which we all said, no, you were going to coddle Vladimir Putin and you were going to give him what he wanted. There was no ceasefire, and now you are embracing what Vladimir Putin has asked for, and we see it in that photo. You're trying to shove down Ukraine the idea that they have to give up most of eastern Ukraine to Russia, including many areas of Donbass, Zaporizhia, and other areas that are under the control of Ukraine that Vladimir Putin has not been able to take over. You just want to give that to Putin.
Right.
I saw some analysis which is based on the current trajectory. Even if Trump and the U.S. continue to withhold weaponry to Ukraine, it would take about, I think this came from the UK Defense Ministry, it would take about 5 more years.
He don't
and
keep
it would
his
take
word, so
about
everything he says is a
2 million
lie.
or so Russian casualties, including potentially up to 1 million deaths in Russia, in order for them to even come close to taking the land that Donald Trump just wants to give away. Now imagine if we were actually doing our responsibility as the United States of America and helping Ukraine and imposing sanctions against Russia and fighting back. Donald Trump then posts the following. More whining this morning. It's incredible how the fake news violently distorts the truth. When it comes to me, there is nothing I can say or do that would lead them to write or report honestly about me. I had a great meeting in Alaska on Biden's stupid war, a war that should never happen. I want to be clear as well. I showed the stats the other day. The amount of Russian attacks on Ukraine has not just doubled, nearly tripled since Donald Trump has come into office. More and more drone strikes and ballistic strikes, specifically at Kyiv, strikes like I showed you at the beginning of this video. And Donald Trump's been the one showing complete and utter weakness. And at some point, bud, you got to stop blaming the other guy. You're in charge.
Absolutely.
Behave like a grown-up. Act responsible.
You knew that coming in.
Promised you would bring peace in 24 hours. You know, one of the instead, what you did do is you rolled out the red carpet for Vladimir Putin. You
clapped your hands in excitement.
You had American soldiers literally go down on their knees in front of Putin's airplane and quite literally kneel in front of him while rolling out a red carpet. It was one of the most embarrassing things that we've seen. So now we know that Zelensky will be going to the United States tomorrow, but he's not going alone. He's going backed by a lot of European countries. European Commission President von der Leyen, French President Emmanuel Macron, Finnish President Alexander Stubb, German Chancellor Friedrich Merz, NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte, Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer. They're all going with Zelensky. They're not going to let Zelensky show up by himself and deal with Donald Trump. This is a show of force right now by Europe against a Trump regime and a MAGA force that supports Putin, unfortunately. And it's a very sad thing to see that, but it's a strong showing that Europe is going to be there with Zelensky in Washington, D.C. tomorrow.
Reminds him of himself.
Donald Trump is now posting Bella Bella. Why is he posting that? Nobody knows, but this is what he just posted moments ago. Bella. Bella. Governor Newsom responded right away to that. Donald Tiny Hands has written his autobiography this morning. Unfortunately,
Tiny hands
low
and
IQ,
taco
he
tits.
spelled it
Lord,
wrong.
they kill me.
Beta. Soon you will be fired, Beta Trump, because of my perfect, beautiful maps. Thank you for your attention to this matter, Governor Newsom. GCN. I love that he's calling him a... Newsom is calling Donald Trump a beta cuck on social media right now, which is what you have to do. You got to bully the bullies back. Just really quickly, I often get asked, Ben, how do you do your research here on the Midas Touch Network? What research tools do you like to use? Because I know some of you want to use the research tools that I do. What news do I read? And how do I know, for example, that the 5-year projections of Russian casualties, and what Donald Trump just wants to give away, and what the casualties would be. I use something called Ground News, and the tools I use, it's called the Vantage Plan, and they also have a great tool called Blind Spot, where I see what is the right wing missing, what are they not covering, what's the left wing not covering, and it does this great blind spot feature that lays that all out. So if you want to use the tools that I use at the Midas Touch Network, go to ground.news/MTN or scan the QR code. We're going to give you 40% off the This was literally a post. This should be parody. This is a post that they made. Also, you had Anna Paulina Luna, MAGA Republican Congresswoman, posting Putin propaganda this morning and saying, look at what Zelensky's doing. He's hiding all of his money, like just literal disinformation for Putin. It is so despicable and disgusting to see. Zelensky wrote this morning, I had an opportunity to meet with the president of the European Commission, von der Leyen, President von der Leyen in Brussels. Significant support for Ukraine in the context of the upcoming meeting with Donald Trump. We agreed on the necessity of a ceasefire for subsequent diplomatic steps, effective security guarantees for Ukraine, and continued sanctions pressure on Russia to limit its future potential. I thank Ursula von der Leyen personally and the whole Europe that supports us and our quest to end the war. And then Zelensky also talks about the importance of everybody, all of Europe, supports the key issues must be resolved with Ukraine's participation in a trilateral format. Ukraine, US, and Russia, they're together. That's what needs to happen. And Zelensky says, I'm ready for a ceasefire. I'm ready to show up. I'm ready to look Putin in the eyes. What's the matter, Donald? You can't handle that? What's the matter? So this morning you had Marco Rubio, Secretary of State. Their spin right now is that Donald Trump never promised there would be any type of deal to come out of Alaska. That's how the Trump regime is spinning it. Here's what Rubio said. Here, play this clip.
Why did President Trump's meeting with Putin end with no ceasefire? And what does Putin want?
Yeah, well, a couple things. First of all, if you recall, there's no way you can have a meeting like that, and we never said there was going to be a deal coming out of the meeting because the Ukrainians are not there. This is a war between two countries. It's not America. It's Ukraine and Russia. We met with the Russian side. We've spoken repeatedly with the Ukrainian side. We'll see them again tomorrow in person along with our allies in Europe. So I do think some progress was made in that talk. And
then here, Marco Rubio says that Russia really needs to get something as part of a peace deal. But he doesn't explain any concessions at all that have come from Russia. Russia invaded, stole Ukrainian land, now wants more land that it has not been able to take over. But according to Marco Rubio, he says Russia needs more. You have to give them more. Here, play this clip.
Vladimir Putin did not give President Trump the ceasefire he sought, and now Putin says the root causes of the conflict have to be resolved in a peace agreement. Isn't the root cause the fact that Russia invaded in the first place?
Well, ultimately, yeah. But I mean, what he means by root causes is his long historical complaints that we've heard repeatedly. This is not a new argument. He's been making this for a long time, and it's the argument that it's Western encroachment. I don't want to get into it. It's just so long. But the bottom line is that all of, we're not going to focus on all of that stuff. We're going to focus on this. Are they going to stop fighting or not? And what it's going to take to stop the fighting. And what it's going to take to stop the fighting, if we're being honest and serious here, is both sides are going to have to give, and both sides should expect to get something from this. And that's a very difficult thing to do. It's very difficult because Ukraine obviously feels, harmed, and rightfully so, because they were invaded. And the Russian side, because they feel like they've got momentum in the battlefield and frankly don't care. Don't seem to care very much about how many Russian soldiers die in this endeavor. They just churn through it. So I think what the president deserves a lot of credit for is the amount of time and energy that his administration is placing on reaching a peace agreement for a war that's not a war that started under him. It's it's on the other side of the world. That said, I mean, it's relevant to us, but there are a lot of other issues he could be focused on. So tomorrow we'll be meeting with President Zelensky. We'll be meeting with European leaders. We just met with Putin. He's dedicated a lot of time and energy because he has made it a priority of his administration to stop or end war, stop wars or prevent them. And right now, this is the biggest war going on in the world. It's the biggest war in Europe since World War II. We're going to continue to do everything we can to reach an agreement that ends the dying and the killing and the suffering that's going on right now.
Well, I mean, this.
On the other hand, you have Democratic Congress member Crow from Colorado, veteran, actual soldier, knows what he's talking about. Here's what he had to say about this. Here, play this clip.
But compare that to what this administration has done, which has relieved almost all pressure. Like, look at what happened on Friday. U.S. military personnel in uniform literally were on their hands and knees rolling out a red carpet for the most murderous dictator of the 21st century. Somebody who is kidnapped and is holding prisoner tens of thousands of Ukrainian children. Somebody who started this whole war, right? This both sidesism that the administration is engaging in, that both sides need to come to the table and negotiate. Ukraine is the victim. They are the victim. They didn't start this war, Russia did. And somehow we keep on acting like Vladimir Putin deserves to be brought out into the open like any other head of state. Yeah. This is a historic embarrassment and defeat for U.S. foreign policy.
And here's what former President Biden's national security advisor, Jake Sullivan, had to say about everything. Here, play this clip.
One of the things he says is that Putin was already on the world stage. You chose never, President Biden rather, you chose never to meet with Vladimir Putin. Why not?
Look, we had many different contacts with the Russians over 2.5 years, and we concluded, based on those contacts, that Russia was not in a position to come to the table in a serious way to end this war. And so we didn't want to set up a summit where we were literally rolling out the red carpet for Putin in America to have him come and walk away and continue the war without any clear and convincing outcome of the summit. So we didn't think that was possible. And having just watched Alaska, I think our judgment on that was correct. Now, does that mean there shouldn't be diplomacy with Russia? Of course not. There should be. Does it mean that a summit should never take place? A summit would be fine, but it's got to be properly prepared to produce an outcome that the American president can articulate in advance and produce in the aftermath. The outcome that this American president articulated, a ceasefire or consequences, he did not produce. And that is why I think we find ourselves in a difficult situation today. But Martha, this isn't over. There will be a meeting with Zelensky and European leaders, and then we'll see what happens after that. My hope is that President Trump will see, in hindsight, that President Putin is just trying to take us all for a ride, to keep this war going, keep attacking Ukraine without facing additional pressure. And we've got to cut him off at the pass.
And while all of that's going on, I don't want to forget also Epstein. Donald Trump is still trying to cover up the Epstein files. We're going to do a lot more videos on that. I'm sure you've seen over the past 48 hours. We still do lots of Epstein videos, so we'll make sure we continue to cover that. And then I want to show you this right here. This guy, Ed Martin, who Donald Trump basically has attacking all of his political opponents. Ed Martin went on TV today on Fox and said that he's going after New York Attorney General Letitia James and Adam Schiff He goes, because they're liars. And when you lie and you cheat, you don't just lie and cheat about one thing. You lie and cheat on a lot of things.
Right.
Are you, dude? You're just. We know that you're just referring to Donald Trump. Like the ultimate projection that this. It just oozes with projection and confession, but this is what these MAGAs are talking about here. Play this clip.
Doing at DOJ, and all we're doing across the government is saying, get the truth out, and then, by the way, let's hold people accountable, and that's exactly what's going on. So when Bill Pulte sends a criminal referral over to us, and he says Letitia James and Adam Schiff, and by the way, both their lawyers have come out and talked publicly about that criminal referral, so you can talk to them about the specifics, because I'm going to tell you what we're going to do is we're going to follow the facts. Every American has that has a mortgage or has other documents they sign has to follow the law. We're going to go to the very bottom of the facts, and if somebody did something wrong, we're not only going to hold them accountable, we're also going to look at everything else that they've been doing, because when you're a liar, you lie not just on one thing. When you're a cheater, you cheat not just on one thing. When you're doing corruption, you generally don't just do it on one thing. So that's our what we're asked to do as prosecutors, and that's what we're doing.
Well, there you have it, folks. Let me know what you think. Hit subscribe, and let's get to 6 million subscribers together.